So, hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Biko, and I've already talked to some of you, so I had a good time talking to some of you, looking at your animation. So, and the whole setup here is actually, like I said, looks very good. I actually went to Collin College. At the time, it was called Collin County Community College, and I'll talk about that in a second. And actually, Gail she was the assistant at the time, and she helped me out on a lot of my work. So when I started, I said, thank Gail for helping me out, all those years. So she knows what she's doing, guys. So yeah, just a little introduction here, sort of how I, got started in animation, how, what really inspired me. So yes, I'm a 90s kid. I grew up watching Toonami, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Pokemon, Digimon, all the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, Tom and Jerry, Wacky Race, some of you guys may know those names. And and not only that, I've been playing games again since the original Mario on Nintendo, Sonic on Sega Genesis. I still have GoldenEye, 007, Nintendo 64. I still have Star Fox on Nintendo 64. I still have that. Sega Dreamcast, Sonic Adventure, all those games. So yeah, I pretty much grew up with a lot of animation, and in my opinion, the 90s back then, that was like the golden era for anime cartoons in general. You sort of had a mix of everything on TV. Like, so I was watching all the Disney shows, Nickelodeon, come back from school, watch Toonami from 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. every day. It was Monday through Friday. That was like what all the kids were watching, what everyone was talking about, and yeah, Dragon Ball Z. That was the main. That was like the main leader like show back then. So that was a huge inspiration on my life, and part of that led to me becoming an animator, I would say. So high school and college. So I'm actually a naturally fast runner. I would say I was probably like top 3, maybe even the fastest guy at my school, but it was a very small school with no sports, believe it or not. So I was actually thinking about alternative, options, like I was trying to figure out what am I going to do, when I graduate at the time. And that's another thing. Like I've always liked drawing. I'll show. I actually have a drawing. I'll show later. But I've always been a slow drawer. But I've always been someone who pays too much attention to detail, which is why I'm a slow drawer. But I think I'm also good at I can copy things in my mind, which I have an example of. I'll show. But actually, that translated to me becoming a better animator, I would say, which I'll explain why. Because animators, like Gil had pointed out, animators are picky. And one thing, like I said, I was just saying over there, eventually you will get a very keen, a very meticulous eye to pinpoint and look at every little detail. Like I was saying, you watch a movie, someone's leg does something that you doesn't like, or there's an animation that looks odd, something's gonna feel odd to you, no, I don't like that. That sort of happens to me, before I got into animation or studied animation, I did not notice any of those details at all. But eventually, it's all about getting, it's an eye. You'll see what I'm talking about once you get to that sort of level. There's an eye where you can just sort of notice tiny, subtle details. And I learned a lot about that in 2019, which I'm going to talk about. So, Collin College here. This is not this Collin College, but actually, so there was a network station. It was called G4 TV. I don't know if you remember, Gail. It was
G4 TV.
G4 TV. It was a network that was entirely video games.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesnn't exist anymore. Yeah, so I used to watch that. And there was a show called The Arena Show. Actually, that's where Olivia Munn. I remember she started out on like the arena show before she got into Marvel and all that. So, but there was a commercial. It was on this channel, the game channel. There was a commercial. You know, I said, hey, come to Collin College in Phoenix, Arizona to design video games. And so, and at the time, which I just mentioned to Gail, at the time that I saw that commercial, I was actually watching lots of CSI Las Vegas on TV. So I was into, you know, crime scene investigation. I was actually thinking about that. It was going to be either, you know, CSI crime scene investigation, or I sort of wanted to design games going to animation. So I chose game design, an animation pad, obviously. And then that's when I started attending at, it was Collin County Community College, and now it's just Collin College, I think 4 years now. So, and I was mainly on the Central Park McKinney campus and the Spring Creek campus. Now the Spring Creek campus, that's where I do the animation classes on. And yeah, like I said, this is very impressive. Yeah. Like it was just the K rooms at Spring Creek. It was like 2 or 3 of the K rooms, and so there wasn't this much space at all. But so, and it was very intimidating going there, I would say, when I first started. I remember, like, because you say you remember me and my mother had first walked in the room, and I saw the big round table. I didn't really know what to expect. And sort of, I guess I met everyone at the time. So this was fall 2008. That was when I graduated high school. That's when I started going to college. And first time looking at Maya was like, yeah, it was very confused. Like I said, I went to a small, you know, sort of poor school. And when I moved to Texas and started going to college, it was, well, sort of overwhelming, but a little bit disappointing, because it was like, well, I got here and I'm like, wow, a lot of these students they had already known about Maya and a lot of the 3D software, but the school that I came from, small school, like none of that existed. So that's why opening Maya was like really intimidating at the time. Like I said, Gil helped out a lot. Now, at the time, the program was, you know, you had to go through modeling, you know, rigging, animation, the lighting, like you had to do it all. So, yeah, I actually struggled with modeling, I would say. At the time, I wasn't certain if I wanted to do animation at the time back then. So I was just sort of learning my path, learning my way, and it's like, I don't even think I knew that I could do like, animation or lighting or modeling. I didn't think I could do that at the time. Yeah, I went from Collin College from fall 2008 till fall 2014. 2014 is when I transferred to University of Texas at Dallas. I attended there. It's called the School of, you know, Arts, Technology, and Emerging Communication. But I think now they changed the name to Harry Bash Jr. At the beginning. They changed the name like multiple times now, but again, most students call it ATEC. I still call it ATEC. So let me move on here. That's just an introduction, sort of, you know, how I got started, you know, so I sort of always, you know, had that interest, you know, in games and animation growing up. Here you go. If any of you want to take pictures of this, you can. You probably should. I recommend it right now. So the first one up, well, there you go. Richard Williams' Animator Survivor Kit. Right here. The book that everyone knows about. So I saw it up here, first thing when I walked in. I actually have a PDF. I don't know if Marshall gave out that PDF, but somehow I have a PDF on my computer. But so I don't know if a lot of you know Jay Shu. He was the history of animation teacher at Collin College at Spring Creek campus, and so his saying that he says to all his students is practice, 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 research, 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 network, network, network. And that's true, and I'll show some examples of that. So study the 12 principles of animation. As I've been told, you've already been doing that, so keep that up, because the 12 principles are used, you know, started by the 9 old men, you know, Disney animators. Online animation courses here. Animation Mentor, I'm pretty sure you know about. Yeah, Animation Mentor is good for character and creature animation. I took one class for Anim Squad, but I looked it up. Unfortunately, they're shut down. But Anim Squad was actually, I would probably say it was one of the best ones for character animation when it was up. Anim Squad was entirely Disney animators, like Walt Disney animators. So, but I guess they're shut down now. And actually, as I'm saying that, so iAnimate is another one, which I'm going to talk about. I actually took their Creature One workshop. So, but they have character as well. So they have character courses you can take online, creature courses. I think they have like robotics, mechanics. Like. So yeah, Animation Mentor and iAnimate. Those would be the top two I would say right now in terms of the mixture between character and creature. And then you have Anim School. That's another good one. I think you can get actual credits on it. What's that? Oh, cool. This last one here, this is new, but I'll show you. So, actually for creature, I know, what's your name? Rachel. So, similar to me, like I like creature animation. I like to do a mixture of character and creature. I sort of leaning more toward character, but I still like creature. I recommend this guy, Dunner. So, and I'll show these websites here actually. He actually started, so this is Animation Mentor here, I think. So this is Animation Mentor. So, but some of you probably know that. So this is iAnimate, and this is a website. There's the character rigs right there. So yeah, they have some plan. You can get an idea of some of the student work there. They have the lightsaber. That's the character Alicia. I've actually used that character. So this is the Anim School I was talking about. This is the other one. Anim School that you do. So it looks like Anim School, they actually have modeling courses as well, if I'm not mistaken. So, and this, if I can get in, this is Donner. So you want to do creature? I actually recommend Donner. If I go back to doing some creature courses, I'll probably take Donner. Yeah, these are all student animations. So he started, when did he start? I think it was 2018, 2000, can't remember. It was between 2018 and 2020, so he has a team here. 2021 it looks like. But yeah, he had a YouTube channel, and I used to watch his YouTube videos. He did I think Hulk versus a T-Rex. It was an insane animation. But yeah, he's worked on, I think, wow. Cannot think of the film. The film with Gundam versus in the virtual game film. Probably know what I'm talking about. It's like Gundam versus Godzilla in that film, but I think he worked on that. You know what I'm talking about.
Is that like a Pacific Rim type movie? Or?
Ready Player One?
Yeah, Ready Player One.
Oh.
I want to say he worked on that. Could be wrong, but yeah, he's worked on all the those badass, amazing live action VFX films, which is actually what I wanted to get into. So that's what I like. Get back to the PowerPoint. So another tip that I can give you. So companies like I know Pixar in particular are probably similar at Disney. Pixar, Disney, DreamWorks. Focus on the story. You want to make sure you have a good, solid story. And just a little tip, little secret. You don't really need to know 3D animation to get into some of these companies, as long as you focus on the story. Show a good idea. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. study the huge human and creature anatomies. Like observe and analyze the bodies, look at the arcs, the movements, like literally everything is what one of the professors would say at UTD, everything is like a ball and a tail will be animated. So my arm here, literally everything is arc, rotation, everything. So that flows throughout the whole spine, body, everything's just, no matter how you move. Now, you can do like straights, like you have a Batman pose, straights up and down. But remember arcs and curves, it's in every animation, it's in every pose, for the most part. Spirals, rotations, that's one thing I would say. Yeah, use references, especially when you're starting out as a beginner. Actually, many, even senior Pixar animators, they still use reference. So now some of them, they're amazing, badass. They don't need the reference anymore. Those dudes, they're well known, legendary at those companies. But again, even senior level animators still use. I'm talking actual video reference. Record yourself acting out the scene, which leads to my next point. If you can, which I haven't done enough, I've only done one. It was sort of a random class that the animation professor wanted to do at UTD. But like taking an improv class, improv acting. Yeah, that's one thing that, I would say a lot of animators miss out on, including myself. So you're basically acting a performance, putting it, onto the character for the audience to see. So if your acting is off, the animation is going to be off. Even the story will be off. So do the work, put in the hours. So when I was at UTD, I was there. So they have like the open lab at UTD, which I'm pretty sure there are open labs here, but just a room for people to use the computers, working on projects. I was in the open lab from morning until nighttime. I remember one time, me, Rowan, and a couple other students. I think Rowan's she was working at Real Effects now, Montreal. Anyway, but me and a few other students were up there. Well, I was there from morning until night, but it was like 12 a.m., 1 a.m. And it was like in the teens, like low 20s to the teens at night. And like everyone was still working in the lab at night. But eventually, and then also there was the open lab on the second floor. But then on the third floor is what I would call the bat cave. So that's where the lighters were, right? People do the lighting. And they would have the lights off and they'd just be where they're working all night. But you can see the blue screen lights on. And so the lighters were there all night. And I think at one point I guess it got pretty bad, and I guess the faculty had to sort of cut that off and didn't let people stay in the AM in the morning. That at some point, I don't really know, the details, but eventually they had to stop. But yeah, but all those students who were doing those hours are at some amazing companies. Yeah, like I said, I know people, a lot of students I know went to Disney, DreamWorks, Marvel, just everywhere. So I'm going to get to that in like networking and connections and things like that. But so yeah, the ones who are putting in those hours, those are the main ones who really made it in the industry. So internships and jobs here. So yeah, search for internships right now. Again, I'll be honest, jobs are tough, but always be applying. Keep searching. Like I said, I graduated from UTD. That was December 2018. That's when I got my bachelor's. So yeah, March 2019 to April 2019, I worked at Brazen Animation as a junior animator. I'm going to show some of that work. So I worked at Brazen Animation, and that was for a 1-month contract. So June 2019, that's when I was hired at Pixar Animation Studios. Actually, So my final week at Brazen, I think like Naughty Dog had contacted me, the game company, and they were interested. Actually, they wanted me to do an animation test at the time, I think, and so I was sort of in talks with them, and they were. But then somehow I really think these companies sort of know. But so as I was talking to Naughty Dog about doing the animation test and possibly getting hired there as a junior, starting out, that's when Pixar contacted me. I think I got an email first, right? And a lot of people don't know this or believe me on this, but so I got the email first. It was on Wednesday, that my final week at Brazen Animation. And they said, hey, we're gonna do a phone call interview on Friday. So Friday came, I was waiting to get in contact to do like an actual interview. And she got on the phone, she's like, hey, we'd like to offer you a position at Pixar, no interview. So, and then and me and my dad actually drove back there, a road trip. So that's, and then after the internship, I came back and I think it was October of 2019. So I did another 2-week contract at Brazen. After that, the pandemic happened in 2020, of course, and then jobs really got bad. But I worked at Deck 9 Games from December 2021 until May 2023. And yes, layoffs were happening. Actually, that May 19, 2023, I was laid off from Deck 9 Games. So, as I was just explaining to Gil, me and Gil here, what we're talking about. But yeah, job layoffs are happening everywhere across animation, film, games, and tech industry. Everywhere right now. So, money, AI, Terminator robots coming in, everything taking over, right? So yeah, jobs are bad, but keep searching, making connections, which I'm going to talk about connections in this room here. So none of you like separate and walk off, and I'll explain why. But yeah, so this picture down here, that's me on the left. That's my sister on the right there. She actually came out one Saturday. She used to work at, I think, Levy in downtown San Francisco. So she came out one Saturday and sort of gave me a tour of San Francisco because I've always wanted to see it. Which, flip on to the next one. I'm not even in the fool. There you go. That's bigger. So, yeah, she came down 2019 and she showed me the city. They call the city out there, San Francisco. But at the time, I was living, on East Bay, more on like sort of Oakland side, Emory, but Pixar's in Emeryville, was like right next to Oakland. But the city was amazing out there. It was surreal to me. I'm gonna show some videos of it. But I guess I'd always wanted to see San Francisco Bay Area, maybe because I watched too much Charmed on TV, or I don't know. That's So Raven, I used to watch that. I don't know. For some reason, I've always wanted to see San Francisco, so it was nice. That was one benefit of going out there to the internship. So, this is the next topic here. Be willing to travel. Yeah, there's not many jobs in Dallas. So, Real Effects moved in 2018, which sucked because at the time, I think like the main supervisors and everything, they're still here in downtown, I think, but I guess most of them actually moved up to Montreal. And at the time, that's the year I was graduating, and a lot of all my other classmates were like, oh, because a lot of people wanted to go to Real Estate. And in fact, a lot of the students that were sort of in my group, my classmates, they had actually worked on a few, I think, yeah, Michaela worked on Gnome, that Gnome film. So, yeah. So a few of them actually worked on that film and some other projects at Real Effects while they were still in school. So Real Effects allowed them to do that. And Real Effects actually used to have like an animation studio class with UTD. But now it's called like animation production class or animation studio class. So, but yeah, so there are not many jobs in Dallas, not for animation, film, and games. Yeah, you have Gearbox, you have ID Software. Like I said, there's a few big ones here, but a lot of them, you're going to be looking at, obviously LA. There's a lot of games still going. A lot of game companies right now still in LA, but Los Angeles. But a lot of the VFX companies, like I wanted to work at, they've actually gone to Vancouver, Montreal, London. There's a lot of outsourcing to India. So like a lot of the companies I want to work on, Frame Store, DNEG, Double Negative, but people call it DNEG. Scanline VFX, Science Site, Weta Digital, they worked on Lord of the Rings. So Framestorm, DNEG, they worked on all the like Godzilla films, all the Marvel films, DC. So that's what I like. That's what I want to get into. And actually, just another tip here. With the be willing to travel. Yes, I've never been on a plane. So believe it or not. Everyone else in my family has. It just hasn't happened yet. I probably need to.
Did you drive to all these places?
So, San Francisco and LA, yeah, that was meant my dad drove to San Francisco, Biko. And I was driving Honda Pilot vehicle out there all the time. So, yeah. So, Icon Creative Studio. So, this is a company that's up in Vancouver, and I would say I had a good chance of being hired there at Icon Creative Studios, but I was talking to HR on the phone, and most of my questions were like about traveling on the plane and the living situation, having things like that. But they're looking for someone to get on the plane, be there in like a week or two. So you have to be ready. You have to be ready to travel. Don't be like me. If you be on a plane, you'll be good. But yeah, they're looking for someone to be there, that fast. And actually, Nick Hausman, Nicholas Hausman, Nick, he was one of my classmates at UTD. I guess he worked his way up. He's a senior animator there at Icon Creative Studios now. And I actually talked to him on the phone around the time I was asking for advice, and living up there, working up there. But they took me down, took my name down, so name is still down and everything. But at the time, I just wasn't ready. Wasn't ready to be out there that fast. But next time, probably need to take it. And also Icon Creative Studios. I'm pretty sure my Animation 1 teacher at UTD, his name is Joe Manriquez. He was probably the top, one of the best animators at UTD at the time. But he was actually a graduate student. So the graduate students at UTD, I'm pretty sure they still do, I'm not really sure. But when I was a student there, some of the graduate students were they were teaching classes. Like they were teaching Animation 1, some of them Animation 2, like beginning classes. So he was teaching Animation 1, and I learned a lot from him. Like he helped out a lot. A lot of that really helped. But I think he became a creative director at Icon Creative Studios. So, and that's what later I'm going to talk about this whole networking and community. Because I know both Nick and Joe, both of them at Icon Creative Studios, so those are contacts. So, all of you should get along with me. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, Pixar is amazing. Beautiful city. Probably the best time I've ever had in my life. So. Another little secret tip here. Hopefully I can say it. So 2D artists. So if you have actually a stronger suit in 2D, like 2D animation or 2D drawing, more than you do 3D, don't feel bad. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. I'm gonna show you. But Doug Franco here, right? He is a Disney animator. He worked on one of my childhood films, The Lion King, back in the 90s. So one day he actually came into the room where the animation interns were. He brought his actual drawings of like Scar, the original drawings of Scar from Lion King, and he pretty much, he sat it on the couch. There was a big couch in there in the room with the interns. He sat it on the couch, show the drawings, and I did not want to touch the drawings because they're too fragile. So, but I just sort of leaned over, looked at them. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, a lot of the old school Disney animators, they're at Pixar actually. They're at Pixar, at DreamWorks, still at Disney. Like, I describe Pixar as retirement home / amusement park. That's a good thing. Like, everyone was super cool there. Like, there was a lot of open, you could like walk in the offices and talk to people if they weren't too busy. Yeah, so you have like amazing, talented people, lots of knowledge there. I would just go into a lot of the senior animators' offices and talk to them, get to know them, ask for advice and things like that. So, Kiri Lou here. Kiri Lou was, one of the interns, and again, focus on the story. Pixar wants to see the story. Kiri Lou was one of the interns. She was a 2D animator. She did 2D drawing. She's freaking amazing. I'm going to show you that. Show you that here. Yeah, so this is her reel from 2022, and I'll explain why I'm showing this.
Learn to draw hands, you guys.
She's good, yeah, One Piece.
One Piece.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
do you know who I would like to work with if I were an animator? Love, Death, and Robots. Wouldn't that be awesome?
So the reason I'm showing you that. So the reason I'm showing you Kiri Lou's animation, she was cool. I used to talk to her a lot. There's a picture. I'll show you what she looks like later. She was cool to talk to. She did not want to be at Pixar because, I was talking to her about it. I think I was probably talking to her more than most of the other animators. And she actually didn't want to be there because it was all 3D. I don't think she was that, and that's the thing, you don't really have to be that experienced, in 3D, in the 3D software to get into Pixar. I'm just gonna put that out there for now. but yeah, so her main focus was, but her animations were good. 3D animations she was doing in Maya, she was learning it. She was good, and she actually left Pixar during the middle of the internship, and can't think of the company, but one of the companies was, I think, Powerhouse Animation in Austin. I think she worked there, yeah, at one point. But yeah, so she went to pursue, I think she went back to Japan at one point. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But she went to focus on, going into anime. Me and her used to talk about anime in class and stuff like that, like Fire Force, and she liked Naruto. So me and her used to talk about anime and things like that. But yeah, I remember the day she actually left. There was one night all the interns, at Pixar went to, it's called Fenton's Ice Cream. And Fenton's Ice Cream is actually right, you can see it, the Up film. So it's an actual restaurant called Fenton's Ice Cream. There's an ice cream shop that's in Up. And basically, yeah, all the interns went there one night. We were just hanging out. That was the night that she actually left and said goodbye to everyone. But she was cool. But yeah, she freaking made her way, man. So she's working on anime. You saw her animation right there. So that's what I wanted to show. So even 2D artists, they made it. In fact, like a few of the interns in my group were mainly 2D artists. They had very little experience in mine. Not me, but Pixar uses different software. I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, so some pictures of me. That's in front of the Steve Jobs building. Me pretending to lift the ball. So there's a lot of pictures. So that's me, me and my sister down there. That's on the second floor of Pixar. I can show these. So that's on the second floor of Pixar. May or may not get to see these ever again, but and yeah, so that's the Steve Jobs building back there, as you see on the left side. It's huge. There's a huge cafeteria in there. It's that's like when you walk into a huge cafeteria around lunchtime. Yeah, there's like kids running around everywhere. That's why I described it as an amusement park / retirement home. But yeah, it was amazing. One day they had the actual van from the Onward film come out, and people were out there playing games. I actually won a few prizes and things like that. So, but they had the van parked out here one day for a little bit. So, and this little video hopefully works. Pixar Animation Studios. It's a little video I was recording. I actually have like 300, 400 vlogs that I haven't even uploaded. Lots of videos. But that's San Francisco. So yeah, like my first time out there, that was like surreal. Like I said, it's beautiful. Look at it. And like you see a lot of crazy things happen in San Francisco. You'll hear about it. You see things happen, but it still was beautiful, beautiful city. I like it. But just showing you this to give you an idea of like that was my first time on Golden Gate Bridge. Just to give you an idea of like. What you can so look at a lot of companies in Vancouver. Maybe some of you guys go to Vancouver, you get to see that. Maybe you can vlog it yourself, like I did. Maybe experience it. There's a lot of places to explore out there. Me and the interns. So that was at the open zoo. So. And more pictures. Huh? Those are the animation interns right here. So, at Pixar. So, more pictures here. This is a poster. I actually have a print of this poster hanging above my bed. So they gave this poster out to all the interns. And there's a picture here. Hopefully I can show this, but yeah. Just figured I'd show something for you guys. So you can, basically every Friday, the animation interns had to dress up as Jedi.
Oh.
Yeah. It was cool though. Like everyone was sort of looking like they dressed up pretty cool. And the instructor, that's him back there. That's Victor Navone. Right there. So I learned a lot from him. That's the instructor right there. So he actually has a famous animation. It's like a green alien that's like dancing. I don't know if you've seen it. It's way back. Early 2000s. Like some of the earliest videos on YouTube. But He's like a green alien animation, and he's the one who did it. It's green or purple alien animation. But yeah, so here's something else I want to talk about. Don't steal work. So, and some of you may be asking, how is that possible? How do you steal animation? It's possible. So, first example I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to say any names, obviously, but let's just say there was a male student at UTD, and says, yeah, so male student at UTD. He was, in my opinion, I think that was my second, maybe third year into UTD. But he was sort of part of that previous generation. And he sort of got multiple generations of people who know each other at UTD. Same year, right? Where we go. So he was sort of the previous generation of animated studios. In my opinion, he was one of the best there. He worked on some of the animated shorts, the new animated short films at UTD. And there are two girls. So one of the girls, she went off to work at the Mill Film. She went into like a lot of VFX animation. The other one, actually, she actually worked at Illumination on the new Super Mario films. That's pretty cool. That would have been cool to work on. Me, I grew up with the original Mario and things like that. But yeah, they made their way into the industry. They're doing amazing. And so these two girls, they knew this guy. They sort of looked up to him since, he was a previous generation. He was one of the best animators. So they sort of looked up to him as sort of like, student mentor, that type of situation. And one day, I was sitting down and looking at his capstone. So what they have at UTD is called the capstone, and that'll be your final project. So they have the capstone project. I was looking, they were showing me his capstone, and I stopped for a second. I said, whoa, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, whoa, dude. Like, I've seen that animation before. And one of the girls, she's like, no, you haven't, you get it. And then I was like, yeah, because I used to watch a lot of animations when I was in school, out there on YouTube. I was looking at so many animations. And I pulled up the very same animation. So a really good student and animation mentor has an animation out there. It's like a parkour scene, and the characters jumping over rails and climbing up walls and everything. And then I looked at this male student's animation. It was the same, step-by-step animation. And, unfortunate sad part is the animation mentor students still look better than his, even though he was one of the best animators at UTD. So that's one reason why you don't want to steal, plagiarize. Not only that, but if I found it, employers are going to find it, other companies are going to find it, and I guess people can be blacklisted. And I mean, that's really any field you go into. You don't want to copy, plagiarize anything to that extent, and then try get a job based on that. So another example, I think is a girl showed me an animation. I think she just sent it to me. So, and I'll show you this. So this is from my Animation 2 class at UTD. So I'll show you this. All right. And then she sent me this from another student. Right, and they turn around. So, and she sent it to me, and I laughed at it, because I was at my that was like, actually that was 2019. That was after I came back from Pixar. So at that point, I was like way past these animations. I didn't really care. So Philip Hall, Phil was one of the 2 animation teachers that everyone got to know. He was at UTD, and I actually sent it to him and sort of laughed and everything. But then an odd situation happened where the girl who sent me this confronted me in the hallway and was like, why did you show him that, blah, 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 blah. So I still sort of wonder to this day, like I don't know what happened to the student. I still wonder if maybe she copied the animation or it was a friend of hers who did it. And so yeah, it's an actual situation. You can see, like I figured I would show that just to show you guys, like, you know, if I'm saying it, employers are saying it. So if you have any work that you think is copied or stolen, just throw it in the garbage bin, you know, before it's too late. Again, I don't know what happened to the student, but I just told Phil about it. I mean, he's not teaching there anymore right now, but that's just an example. Come up with original ideas. Like a lot of students will look at, let's see, like, Moana's probably my favorite 3D animated film. Moana and the new Super Mario film. So let's say someone sees some amazing, you know, shot from Moana, and they actually want to try to recreate that same animation from the shot. Do not do that. Don't do that. Because, you know, companies are going to look at it and be like, well, it's not too original. It's already been done. It's in the film. You know, not only that, but, you know, you're competing against these amazing, talented, senior level animators, and as a student, your work is not going to look as good as their animation that you're trying to copy. So, come up with original ideas. So this was, you know, an original idea I came up with. This is one of my capstone projects at UTD. So my final, you know, December 2018. So, you know, they had like the floor and the tables, and then you had my laptop set up and you showcase it. So this, I think, yeah, the female character, the mother, this is a character from iAnimate, from the, you know, creature course I took, but I downloaded the character rigs too. So that's the good thing about the online animation courses. There are rigs there, and you can download them. Make sure you download all of them, and then you just have them permanently. So that's the benefit of that, and I just downloaded all of them. This other character, I think, was from, it was called Long Winter's Rigs, I think. I don't know if they still have the rigs, but that was the boy. But the woman's voice here is done by Paulina Gill. She works as an event coordinator at UTD right now, so she's still there. But I asked her to do my voice, and she was just one of the group of students, you know, I used to interact with and hang out with. That's what I mean by getting to know each other. So she helped me do the voice on it.
Yo, Tommy, what are you doing? You were screwing around at the store the other day and bought chicken instead of beef. Now you put the chicken in the garbage can without eating it? Gosh!
Yeah, so like, see, to me, like, I don't know, it may look, I can play it again, it may look pretty amazing to some of you guys, but
Yo, Tommy, what are you doing? You were screwing around at the store the other day and bought chicken instead of beef. Now you put the chicken in the garbage can without eating it? Gosh!
so yeah, so the audio is completely off. And I remember people were telling me about the lip sync, but I was, you know, once you get into that final semester, you're trying to push things, that it was like super stressful. And I was trying to fix the audio. I think I tried to slide it over, but still didn't come out right. But so some of you may look at it and be like, this looks amazing, but when I look at it now, and again, this is the eye that I'm talking about, the keen eye. This is not good. It's bad. In my opinion, terrible. If I can redo it, I can make it look much better now. But that's, you know, looking at school projects, you're going to look back at your project and that's like, I'm pretty sure everyone does. But at the time, that was good for me. That's what, you know, what I was capable of. So, original idea came with it. Yeah, use references, so you guys are already doing that, but I'll go ahead and use this.
Beg your pardon?
That's all right. But you did give me quite a turn.
You see, I was following.
What? Turn?
Please, sir.
Well, one good turn deserves another. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm looking for a white rabbit. So, if you don't mind.
Eh? Oh!
There he is! I simply must get through.
Sorry, you're much too big. Simply impassable.
You mean impossible?
No, impassable. Nothing's impossible. Why don't you try the bottle on the table?
Table.
You know that. So yeah, just wanted to show that Disney animators, you know, use reference. So yeah, video references, you know, used for animals, creatures, and motion capture. So that's me at the bottom there running. So that's the motion capture sort of room lab. They'll have one. That's at UTD for those who want to do motion capture. So I don't know, is there motion capture here? No.
Well, we're working on it.
Yeah.
We go to SIGGRAPH and we see all these, and I've talked to Professor Russell about it. One thing he's thinking about right now is working with video production to do an LED screen for video production. I mean, digital production stuff. So there's a lot of things they're thinking about, and Russell is a guy that has so many ideas. I thought, oh, he's so ADD, he needs me to reel him in so he can like actually finish some of them. But he's really good at finishing his stuff. So maybe eventually we will get mocap. It's become a little bit more affordable, some of the suits and stuff. So that's all for when I've gone to a better place, and Professor Russell will be the new discipline lead after next August.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Cool.
But I suggest anyone who wants to do animation for a game studio needs to show that you know how to use the human IK and FBX mocaps. You know, if you can just demonstrate you can do that, that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, FK, IK, depends on situation, especially like IK. You want to use IK mostly if you're like, you know, picking up objects or whatever. So yeah, you have to learn how to switch between FK and IK in certain situations. I guess another little tip I didn't write down that's important. Learn how to constrain. Learn how to do constraints. You will do. Trust me. I hate constraints, and I'm the best at it. But eventually, you learn it. Once you get to a rhythm of it, you learn how to do it. But everyone has to do constraints. It sucks. And basically, constraints, you know, for those who may or may not know, again, is when, you know, this water ball I have. It's, you know, it's part of rigging. But yeah, you can have the character hold the water bottle, you know, and still move it. But without, like in FK, like it's just flowing in the bottle. Basically have the bottle follow along, and then you can release it. So that's an example of, like, you know, using constraints. So I didn't write that down, but that's a tip there you will need to learn, and just watch tutorials on constraints because it will come up. So yeah, let's see. Have some videos here. Motion capture. So I do gameplay videos on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel where I do gameplay videos. And I've been playing Black Myth Wukong. It's one of the most frustrating games I've ever played. And yeah.
Is it crashy? Everyone says it crashes the computers.
It's very slow. My computer hasn't crashed, but it takes like 5-10 minutes to load up the main screen.
Oh my God.
It's beautiful, but
it is beautiful though.
But yeah, I want to show some. I found this motion capture references. You know. See, I thought that was pretty cool. There's another one here. So actually, you know, they use motion capture for like creatures as well. Like they put it on the actual text. I don't know how to do it, but. Yeah, you know, if you're going into like video games or, you know, live action VFX, you're probably working with a lot of motion capture. This way things are. Except for certain situations, like I said, it's usually the same animators, but you know, you have some badass, amazing action scene, like then they will hand you. But for the most part, like a lot of it is motion capture. But then, you know, like Disney, Pixar, DreamWorks, that's all hand. So I just wanted to show that.
My internet, my rules.
Yay, an ad.
Introducing My Home from Verizon.
YouTube ads. Gotta get that money. Okay. Yeah, so some of my references here. So yeah, another video. So this is a project that I have called Elsa Meets Aang that no one in here has seen. It's on my Vimeo channel. So crazy story. I think I started like 2020, 2021. I was about 95% done with the lighting, and I had someone else help me with the lighting. He worked at Playful Studios. I think he may be working at Bungie now, Kenny. But he helped me with, on some of the lighting, and I would say around early July 2021. I was rendering, and I think Maya fried my computer.
Oh.
Yeah, so my computer was in the shop. It was down. Well, it wasn't shop, but it was down for over a year. So I was meaning to get this project out to YouTube and like send it out to everyone on YouTube and like LinkedIn and everything, let everyone know. But Elsa Meets Aang. But I'll show you some of my references. Just give you an idea so you can see how I do reference a little bit. Have that up here. But I need to get back to that though and sort of finally finish it. But I'll just show you a little bit. And if you want to look at this, like I said, it's on, I mean, if you want, I don't know, take a picture of the title or whatever, it's on Vimeo, or you can search my name, Biko Pouncy, and in Vimeo. But this is just a personal project I was working on, and I have all the research and everything. Let me get you, because it's too long, I'm not going to watch the whole thing. Yeah, you can check it out. So here, so here you go. Here it goes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm the avatar. Take me to whoever's in
So
charge.
this is without all the lighting.
I need help. Who's there? Hello? Anyone home? Sorry. I'm the avatar. Take me to whoever's in charge.
So Zula's my favorite character, obviously. Zula's my favorite character in the last episode. So. And you know, credits here, but you know, these are all people I know, people from classes, people from work. So I just wanted to show you just a little bit of how I do references there. Yeah, again, and then I think I have some examples of the actual lighting, but I never like fully finished that because of the lighting. But the animation, that's the way I want it. The main thing is the animation. I wasn't focused on the lighting, so don't worry about the lighting. I mean, this is just an example of what it looks like with the lighting that Kenny was helping me on, and I did some of the lighting too. So this is what it's supposed to look like once I get it all done. But there's actually like an ice beam. I did in After Effects, but that's not on here. But yeah. And like I said, I did research, you know, lots of research, like Jay talks about, lots of research. So I wanted like a moonlight. I was going for like a castle theme, like, you know, sort of moonlight going through the window. So that's what I was going for. So I went to the next page. Anyway, team projects, create group projects with other classmates. I don't know, do they have group projects here like that?
Not for any of my classes, but for the game classes they do. I don't know, I don't think Professor Wernz does that either, does he? Group projects?
Yeah, I should work on getting one here. Create group projects. Employers like to see that you can work in a team, you know, and it's, like I said, people look at it. Team projects, group projects, animators get together. Not only animators, find the modelers, texturers, lighters, a rigging artist here, effects people, sound design, come up with the whole project. So yeah, great animated shorts, and obviously they got game projects here, but so UTD has it. So when I went to UTD, I was in it used to be, I don't know what it's called years ago, but at the time it was animation production class. I think before that was animation studio class at ATEC. And that's what I worked on, and I'll show you. It was 30 to 40 students overall, maybe more. One big classroom. And honestly, that's the way how like everyone sort of got to know each other, which I'm gonna talk about that later, but so like modelers got to know, you know, the animators got to know lighters, just vice versa back and forth. Everyone knows each other, and everyone sort of has an idea of where people are in the industry out there. You sort of see their work out there on LinkedIn and things like that. I'll show it to you here. Hope I have time here. Yeah, so it's called Procrastination 101. This is it.
How did all of this happen? Start from the beginning.
Well, I was slaving away on my Earth biology final paper when I got a call. Mom was like, "Oh, hi, honey. How on earth is the paper going?" And I said it's going great because I had been like spending all my time on it.
We're all counting on you.
Don't worry, Mom.
I've got it all under control.
Then Mom said, "Fantastic. Here's a little help just in case." Awesome. A spherical task enforcer 5.
Ew.
So I hung up with my mom, and right away I knew there was a problem.
Distraction warning 1.
I tried to get back to my research, but
Plagiarism.
it was like he had a screw loose or something. So I thought maybe he was hungry or whatever.
You just ate.
But that didn't do anything, so I just sat down and tried to work harder.
Distraction warning 2.
It wouldn't even let me read my textbook.
Inappropriate reading material.
Or go out for some fresh air.
Partying is procrastinating.
Finally, it did the unthinkable.
Distraction warning 3.
Wait! Was either me or him?
Ow,
And
ow,
somehow he
ow.
just microwaved himself.
Agent Super, do you realize what your actions have done?
Okay,
You were sent to study planet Earth,
I know it looks bad, but
and instead, you destroyed it.
technically it wasn't all my fault.
14 years ahead of schedule!
Because you enjoyed it.
And different.
You were at Anderson fucking station. You were a soldier in the greatest massacre in the history of the belt, and you hid it from me. Ah! Give me one reason I shouldn't leave you here to fend for yourself.
Sure. You need to help the rest of me. And I'm no use to you like this. Believe me.
I don't have time for this. But I don't think I can make it through this without you either. All that matters is getting through this attack. And I need the medic for that.
So these are animations I did when I was at UTD. Some of my final tests. So this was at British Animation.
Really? That was weird.
that's part of my capstone here at UTD, my final project. That's animation too.
Oh,
You could say, congratulations.
it never
Howard.
gets old.
How do you feel about this? Is this what you want?
So that's sort of my main character reel, and now I'll show you this is my VFX reel. So this is a mixture of personal projects that I've done, class projects, and animations from, I took Creature Animation 1 workshop from iAnimator. And the final semester, I was literally going crazy with everything. Like, I was taking 4 or 5 classes and doing iAnimate. I was like, at the same time working, but the teacher let me do it. I was like working on iAnimate and in her class at the same time, back and forth. Like, final semester, everyone was like really pushing me out. But this is what I mean by separating the real, sort of. Oh, in case you don't see it, look on the bottom left, and I sort of have my reference on the bottom left.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, for VFX.
Yeah.
So this is a personal project here at UTD. I guess I'll go ahead and show you. So this is that personal project I was working on. I think you saw it with the references, but this is it without it, without the lighting though. Obviously.
I need help.
Where's the baby?
What am I gonna do? Who's there? Hello? Anyone home?
Sorry. I'm the Avatar. Take me to whoever's in charge.
So this is great. We're just about to start talking about the demo reels. So remember all this stuff, you guys.
I mean, if it, a little bit. I mean, you can take a picture of this if you want. I said, mine is long because, like I said, it's mainly long because of the new game animation that I did. But yeah, when you're starting out, keep them 1 minute and under. Because a lot of companies will look at, they're going to look at the reel, first 10 seconds, if they don't like it, boom. So it's going in the garbage. And one more thing, your resumes, your actual paper, digital resumes. Like, if you have any borders, any special characters, borders, don't put any artwork on your resumes, remove it. Because I learned recently, which sort of suspected over the years, but AI software, of course, AI, AI software is out there. You know, it's automatically rejecting resumes out there. If it sees one little thing it doesn't like, or if it sees, you know, if it doesn't like, if it, you know, right, a lot of companies, you know, entry level looking for, oh, like 3 to 5 years of experience, you know, as entry level, like, how does that make sense, right? So, like, if you don't even have that detail in the resume and AI doesn't like it or something, it's gonna throw out the resume. The employers won't even see it. I recently learned that, you know, a lady I was talking to recently, unrelated to animation, but she's working at a company now, but when she applied to that company, I guess her resume was rejected, and they didn't know. So she actually walked in person. I walked into sort of a mall area looking for a photography job actually like a few weeks ago. I walked in there with an actual paper resume. You know, I guess the only girl who was working there, you know, I guess they were hiring because someone in my family told me they were hiring. So she was the only one working there at the time, said she needed help, but I had just called her right before she got out of work and gave her the paper resume, and actually she was eager to sort of like meet up and have me work here and everything. So I decided to just walk in person because I know, you know, and obviously a lot of these companies you can't because they're all over the planet, but I mean, if you can make that extra effort, I just wanted to screw it, walk in there like the man and just give me the paper resume. And because again, the hiring software, right? The resume software is like automatically rejecting resumes, it's happening everywhere. People are applying, you get automatic rejections. A lot of times employers don't even see it. So, yeah. Make sure, see if there's anything else I can speak to. Oh, well, I'll show you this. So, this is the short version. I'll show you my reel at Deck 9. That's a short version, but I have my new animation channel here. I don't know, take a picture if you want. BTAnimator or BikoTheAnimator too. My main channel was called BikoTheAnimator. And so I have like an actual 12-minute version. I'm not gonna play that. So if you want to go and see all 12 minutes, it's on here. Videos, front page. I do like lots of vlogs too. Like, see, there's Industry Giants right there. 42 minutes. Mexican food. I'm actually getting Mexican food after this. Do more vlogs. But yeah, so full 12 minutes if you want to see it. But I'm just going to show the 3-minute version, which is the short version. So this is my reel from Deck 9. Just to show you what I worked on as a junior animator, but then I was sort of promoted to animator.
Don't make the same mistake he did. I work for you, but you don't own me.
Believe me, I'm well aware.
Just want to make sure you're not having second thoughts about our deal.
Oh, come on. We're equal partners. We pay the crew, the costs, and the overhead. The rest is 50-50. You and me. We've got a good thing going here. Nobody fucks with you, which means nobody fucks with me. And hell, if this score is what I think it could be, you got the deal of the century. Now drink.
I like the space blood that floats.
Yeah. Let's see, like there's actual collaboration. Multiple animators worked on Telltale Series.
The lighting's quite nicely.
Yeah, I remember working on this.
Do you? You were at Anderson fucking Station. You were a soldier in the greatest massacre in the history of the belt, and you hid it from me! Ah! Give me one reason I shouldn't leave you here to fend for yourself!
Sure. You need to help the rest of your crew. And I'm no use to you like this. Leave me.
I don't have time for this. But I don't think I can make it through this without you either. All that matters is getting through this attack. And I need them ready for that.
Yeah, that's it. Show you one more. I'm sure you. I'll show you. Show you one more. So this is my. Show you this one. Personal project and then the Pixar one.
I want to have time for a Q&A too.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna be done. So this is a personal project. So companies like to see personal projects. We get- But yeah, I was doing match moving, animation, lighting. I actually went to Peter McCord, he's a lighting professor at UTD, and he gave me some tips, some advice. So that's the thing, you get to know the professors, you get to know other students. And then last one here, just to show you an idea, give an idea of what I worked on at Pixar. Now, second year interns actually got to work on a few of them worked on Onward, a few shots on Onward. So second years actually get to work on the films. But the first year is more like class-based. Yeah. So same principles, learning, bouncing balls, and character walks.
You could say, "Congratulations, Helen. How do you feel about this? Is this what you want?"
Good thing we won't stand out. Wouldn't want to attract any unnecessary attention.
So, go ahead. But there you go. So that's all I have.
Jedi.
So, yeah. So hopefully you learned a lot. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So I don't know, did everybody, you can do some Q&A, but I wanted to know if anyone had some work, some animation they wanted Biko to look at while he's here. No? Okay.
Everyone's scared.
Well, we are just getting ready to start talking about demo reels, so that was very cool. And I was wondering, is it okay if I give your contact information to Professor Russell to see, like he and another of our adjuncts both have been interested in teaching the wireless campus. So you might want to consider doing that. And we'd appreciate it. So go on the Collin website maybe and when you put your application and just have it handy. And then I'll hook you up with Elvis and Russell. We can't find anybody to drive out to Wiley. I don't know where you live.
I've never even been to Wiley.
It's been a minute.
I've been.
I mean, like, yeah, but I can drive still.
I live in Princeton so far.
Let's see where that is. Let me get my phone.
Princeton, yeah, it's east of McKinney.
Well, Russell just got a house out there, and we are having the hardest time getting people to teach out in Wiley. Let me see where it is.
So no one has any questions before I end it?
No, you answered everything, I guess. Is
I-
everyone afraid now to try and join the workforce, seeing the other people?
Yeah.
Can I ask what the tracks is between
There's. I didn't bring the other images, but so every intern actually has a different load of cupcake card. So each one is like actually there was like an Obi-Wan card, but mine is Bantha Tracks. It's actually it's like a creature. There it is. Yeah, that's the Bantha.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cute.
So each intern had different characters from Star Wars, basically.
So you're 26 minutes, it says. So you're here, Russell's here, Adam is here, and here's the Well, for me to get there, I have to go all the way over to the tollway, down to George Bush, over and then north. So, and that's, our problem. A lot of us live in Frisco and stuff like that. We're in that area, but if you could teach animation and finally Russell would be like super happy. Anyway, I'll hook you guys up. I'll give you guys each other's contact.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
All right,
I'll
everybody.
look at it in a second.
Thank you so much. I'm not gonna come around and nag you like I usually do, but just stay on task, keep doing work, and we'll do, I think, general wheels are.
So I think this is it. I found the room where I'll be doing my presentation, and Professor E. Jacobs, she said 102. Wow, this is cool, man. So I haven't been in this building. It's called the IT building here in Frisco. So I'll be doing my presentation. Yeah, I try to set it up on PowerPoint here. All right, cool, man. Some nice work there. Wow, yeah, this is nicer than Plano, in my opinion. This looks like a brand new building at Collin College. So I found it. Yeah, so this is the building here, man. I've never been here before. It's nice. Wow. So this is what it looks like in the daytime here. So, all right. Yeah, this is Coop.